Batman versus Superman. Dawn of Justice. That's right. Possibly the biggest movie ever. That's what they were saying in all the hype surrounding this movie, where you could not even take a leak without a Batman versus Superman related ad coming at you. Like there was Batman versus Superman toilet paper. That's how advanced this marketing campaign was. You could not escape it. You thought you were going to see the greatest thing in the history of mankind. It had to be, with all the marketing and hype behind it. But was it? If you check out some of the reviews by some of these critics, not so much. It's actually certified rotten on Rotten Tomatoes, which is not a good sign for a movie that had this much money and this much hype behind it. But I saw the movie, and did I agree with the critics? Not exactly. But I do understand where they were coming from and all the hatred for the movie. And I do understand all the love for the movie, that some people were saying that it was better than the Avengers. Not exactly. But we will get there. First, though, we will do a little mini unboxing because I picked up a couple mystery minis today. Batman versus Superman. These are from GameStop, so they have the GameStop exclusive ones. Wonder Woman, angrier Wonder Woman than the Wonder Woman that comes normally in the set. You got Unmasked Batman. You got Fire Eyes Superman, who just looks like a bigger douchebag than he usually is. And the Golden Armored Batman, which I told was very rare. And somebody told me at GameStop where I could find it. And then when I went to go look for it, they said, oh, but somebody was moving around all the boxes earlier. So thanks for wasting my fucking time, you jerk. So let's unbox these, see what we got here. We already have two mystery minis. We have regular old Batman and Wonder Woman. So hopefully we don't get any repeats. I don't remember who they pulled out of the series for the GameStop exclusives, because they don't have the box in front of me anymore. But whatever. So let's just open them up, see what we got here in box number one. I picked up 3 of these. And lo and behold, we have another. Oh no, this is the GameStop exclusive Wonder Woman. Alright. So we have 2 Wonder Woman. I have the regular old one there. The one with the shield and such. And now we have the GameStop exclusive Wonder Woman. So alright. Didn't want another Wonder Woman, but at least it's not the same exact Wonder Woman. Alright, next, let's see what else we got here. Getting the exclusives is good, though, if you don't want them, because people will pay a nice dollar for them on eBay. What do we got here? We have Alfred. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. I like the Jeremy Irons take on Alfred. A little bit more hands-on than previous cinematic Alfreds that we saw. Although the Alfred in Gotham actually beats people's asses, so you got that going. So there's the last one. I only picked up 3 of them. I thought about buying like 6 or 7 of them, but then I thought against it. And what do we have here? We have dorky ass, stupid loser Clark Kent. So picked up 3 of them. Got 1 GameStop exclusive. Not any of the Batman, which I kind of hoped that it was. We got 1 GameStop exclusive, and then 2 kind of lamer figures. But I do like Alfred, and Clark Kent's a loser. I hate Clark Kent. Hate Superman. So I guess you know who I was rooting for in this movie. So before we get into that, no, let's get into it. What else do you want to do? This is what you're here for. You're here to hear. You're here to hear my review, easy for me to say, on Batman vs. Superman. So, while I rip up these boxes and get them ready for recycling, let's get into the review. So, based on the trailers, I thought that the first half of the movie, considering that the movie ran 2 hours and 40 minutes, the first half of the movie was going to be Batman versus Superman, and we all knew Dawn of Justice meant the dawn of the Justice League, right? So I assumed that the first half of the movie would deal with the fight between Batman and Superman, and then we move on to them fighting Doomsday together in the formation of the Justice League. didn't exactly happen that way. Instead, the movie just brooded along for about 2 hours, and then we finally get the fight between Batman and Superman, which probably lasted all of 10 minutes. And then they teamed up together to fight Doomsday, and then that's when Wonder Woman comes along. Although Gal Gadot, I want to say her name properly, was in the movie sporadically, doing different things, but not as Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman made her debut as Wonder Woman during the fight with Doomsday. Now, trying to recall from memory here. This is where it gets a little tricky. All right, so let's get. Where do you want to get started? The opening of the movie is the funeral procession for Martha and Thomas Wayne, right? Okay, so they do a little allusion to Batman Begins when Bruce fell in the hole when him and Rachel were chasing each other. But this time Bruce is running away from the funeral and he falls in the hole and the bats come. It was kind of stupid in my opinion that he's having this dream where the bats are creating this wind tunnel and lifting him out of the hole that he was in. That's one. I'm going to be a little bit all over the place. I'm going to try to keep things in line here, but as I think of things, I'm just going to spit them out here. That's one of the Batman scenes were probably the best part of the movie. Not probably, they were. But the dreams he kept having were just really out of place, and you didn't know if they were like real, like part of what was going on in the movie, or if they were just dreams. He kept having these dream sequences, like where this dude comes from, the Nightmare Batman, where it's supposed to be like a post-apocalyptic world where like Superman is taken over, and he's trying to buy kryptonite. And then the way that it just like went into that is like you thought that maybe it was part of what was going on, but then it was just all a dream. I used to read a Word Up magazine. Sometimes you just can't help yourself. So I could have done without the dream sequences. Like the one where the blood was coming out of his parents' casket was another kind of random one. Like I said, that could have probably been avoided, but it wasn't. They put it in there. It's fine. It was fine for what it was. The biggest problem with this movie, though, was Superman. Okay, Superman was the biggest problem with this movie. I never hid the fact that I'm not a Superman fan. Okay, never hid that fact. Always been a Batman guy. Part of the reason why I don't like John Cena as a character is because I can't get down with somebody who just never loses. Like, no matter what you do to him, they don't lose. And that can get kind of boring. But I did like Man of Steel because I love the utter destruction of the end of that movie. And sometimes you don't really care about the story. And you just want to see things get massacred. Excuse me. And that's what Man of Steel was. But here, the love story between Lois and Clark and Clark/Superman was so cheesy, man. It was just so corny and like really brought down the whole movie. Oh God, the bathtub scene, and then oh Jesus, it was just I think I erased most of it from my mind because that's how it was just like really corny and just really brought down the movie. Another thing is everybody was hating on Jesse Eisenberg's portrayal of Lex Luthor. I didn't personally have a problem with it. That's just who Jesse Eisenberg is, and I guess Zack Snyder thought that was how he wanted Luthor portrayed, which was fine. I didn't really have a problem with it. Although when I was watching it, I kept thinking that he would have made a better Riddler than Lex Luthor. I don't know, that was just keep going on in my mind that he would have been a better Riddler than Lex Luthor, but he was who he was, and there was a lot of things in the movie that just didn't make a lot of sense. Like the guy with the amputee that you see when Bruce is coming into Metropolis during the end of Man of Steel, and he blows up the meeting. Why? Why did you blow up the meeting? What was the point behind that? To try to kill Superman? It was just really, I mean, I thought he was gonna like, the point of it was that he wanted uh the meeting with Superman at the Capitol building or the center, wherever the hell they were, because he wanted Superman to see what he does that's not positive all the time. And this dude had no legs, and then he blew himself up. But did Lex blow him up because that he was in the wheelchair that Luthor gave him, or did he know? It was just I see that was a little bit of part of the movie where I didn't understand what the hell was going on, because Luthor was supposed to be in the meeting, but he wasn't. You see that his chair is empty, and then everybody in there dies, obviously, except for Superman. So, like, the media was blaming the dude, Wallace, his name was, for what happened, but it was probably Luthor, right? Now I'm speaking this out loud, I'm thinking of it, that I think Luthor was using Wallace as bait. See, when you have to sound this stuff out in your mind, it just... The point of the matter is that you sit through 2 hours of this movie, and then something finally happens. And then it's not that you were ever bored by what was happening, because you're trying to ingest everything. That's what it was. There was just so much going on that you're just trying to ingest everything. That's why, like, you never totally get bored throughout the 2 hours, and then finally the big fights happen. So, yeah, so... Ben Affleck, and I've gone on record as saying this when he was cast, that I was going to boycott the movie and hate him, but I didn't. He really nailed it. He played an older, world-weary Batman very well. My problem, though, was that he's already been Batman for 20 years. Like, what has he been doing? Like, they don't want to do Batman's origin story over again, right? That's what I read somewhere. They didn't want to do it over again. Fine. But you have to. You have to do that because you need to know what his motivation is. What kind of crime fighter is he? Every take on Batman is different. You got to understand the psyche of Christian Bale's Batman. Even you got to understand Keaton's Batman. But you don't understand really Affleck's Batman, because he's already been Batman for 20 years. You don't know what he's gone through, but I mean, the allusions to the Joker were there with the suit, with the haha, the joke's on you, Batman. So like, but we don't really know, do we? We don't really know what he's been through. We want to know what he's been through. This way we can sympathize with him. So that's why I think if I was putting together the DC universe, that I would have put together a solo Affleck Batman movie before Dawn of Justice. Did Man of Steel, did the solo Batman movie, and then did Dawn of Justice, and then went into the Justice League. That's what I would have done, because I think the movie would have made much more sense because you already had Superman, and then you needed to see Batman before you put them together. That's just, I think the movie would have meshed a lot better had that happened. Okay. So basically then, so you get through all this stuff that's going on, and then finally Batman and Superman fight. The only problem is you've seen it already. You've seen it 1,000 times already. They did not really expand upon anything in the actual movie that you haven't seen in the trailers, which was really disappointing. And the fight only lasts a few minutes. I mean, it's very minor. The Batman versus Superman part is actually a very minor part of the film. But now let's go back here. You understand in what Bruce / Batman, why he wants to get rid of Superman. It's a famous line, if he's only got a 1% chance of being evil, we have to take him as a threat. You know, I paraphrased there, but you guys get the point.